This is the Betty Price Gallery. This is where we house the Oklahoma State Art Collection. So this is a collection of artwork by Oklahoma artists. Individuals who were born in Oklahoma, trained in Oklahoma, or spent a significant amount of time producing art in our state. So we have a kind of an imprint on kind of the visual anthology, the kind of visual imprint of our state. So there are about 200 works of art. 100 of those pieces are on a display in here, but it covers a wide variety, everything from two-dimensional painting to sculpture, baskets. We can kind of walk around. Hi, my name is Amber Sharples. I'm the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Arts Council, the state agency for the arts. And I'm here at the Oklahoma State Capitol introducing Alexander to the People's House and the People's Art. It's really beautiful,
right? Actually, to have this, first of all, to do that.
Collection. These are some of the most influential artists. Yeah. Many of them were teachers. Okay. Many of them were instructors on the university level. Some of them were forward-thinking in either the way that they created their work, their subject, had a strong imprint on students, which is very important for us, that legacy of future artists. Eugene Bavinger, this artist, is really interesting because these are considered glass paintings. He takes a big piece of glass and he paints onto that glass, puts the canvas down, and then once it's dry, then pulls it off. And so it gives you that really luminescent, very flat, and then he'll apply texture on top of it, but he's working, in reverse. So it's really an interesting process. He was a University of Oklahoma professor. So his painting, his kind of technique revolutionized painting in Oklahoma and even in the region. Start in 1541 when Coronado came through what is now the panhandle of Oklahoma, looking for gold, quote unquote.
1541? Okay, so what, 50 years after Columbus?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that is the
and
that
what
kind of
were
shows the Wichita. See the grass huts. Those are the Wichita who were indigenous to this area. And then you move forward. Then you see trading. You start to see forts being built, more inter-exchange and trade on the river. Yeah. And you start to see this individual in the front. This Osage man is trading with the fur trappers and different individuals. Then you see proselytizing and you see indigenous communities and a man reading probably something religious in nature. Yeah. And then you get to the third panel, which really shows the tension between when there was forced removal from indigenous lands and being brought to what is now Oklahoma, that tension between tribal nations and that tension that was caused. And then you can see the Trail of Tears. You can see individuals walking in the top right corner. And then you see where the lands were opened for...
Oh, the land run?
For the land. It represents one of the many land runs where lands were taken and then kind of the influx of immigrants coming into this space of what is now Oklahoma. And then you have the two lunettes on the sides. These pay tribute to the strongest industries of our state. This is We Belong to the Land. This is all of the agricultural roots that we have. And then Oklahoma Black Gold, which is oil and gas. No surprise in Oklahoma. One thing I'm really proud of, though, is that we do have a lunette dedicated to musicians, right? And artists, and to dancers, right? To the idea of the performing arts. So you have, this is called Flight of Spirit, and it was actually the first one in this space, besides the murals. It was the first lunette, half kind of moon size. It was done by Mike Larson, who's a Chickasaw artist. And this is to pay tribute to the 5 Prima American Indian ballerinas that brought themselves kind of international acclaim and.
When was that, by the way?
So they never danced together. So they each had their own individual careers, except for the sisters, that Maria and Marjorie Tallchief, were from the same family. So this kind of is taking their 5 careers and putting it into one in terms of the strong, obviously, Native roots and American Indian nations and legacy of the arts as well as what they did to bring kind of as ambassadors in dance across both the national and international stage, each in their own respective careers. In fact, whenever they dedicated this painting here in the Capitol in 1991, it was the first time all 5 of them were in the same room.
So they were still alive at that time?
Yes.
So, still alive? Or?
Some of them are. Yeah, we've lost a few of them. So, and then you see individuals behind each of the dancers, which are a connection to their native heritage and their families. So, and then you see the young girls too, which is kind of how they inspire future dancers.
Yeah.